Alright, we're gonna talk about something a little bit different in this video. We're gonna lay off of the music topic in this video. We're gonna lay off the talk about business in this video, and we're gonna be talking about the future and what's to come. Um, as some of you may know, they got a new technology company. Well, not new, but it's been out for years now, from somebody that we all know relatively well, one of the elites, one of the billionaires. Elon Musk, he launched a company called Neuralink. That motherfucker is something else, man. This nigga Elon gonna be the reason why a lot of humans is gonna lose jobs. Elon is gonna be the reason why a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna have no way of earning income soon. Just being real. But anyway, he got this company called Neuralink. Some of you may know about it already, where they're improving on a device that will be a chip about the size of a quarter that's going to be implanted in people motherfucking brains. Imagine that, a chip that's surgically implanted into your brain. That's what this motherfucker's working on and been working on. Actually, matter of fact, I think at the beginning of this year, he got his first client, his first person to actually get the chip that he created surgically implanted into his brain. And I'm about to read an article and show you some videos so you can understand more about what Neuralink is and what to expect from it. But with this type of shit, it's like, why the fuck do we need something like this? Why do we really need something that's not a part of our body and that's not natural to be implanted into our bodies? Why do we need something like that inside of our bodies? We already got a computer. I'm fine with using a keyboard. I'm fine with typing on my cell phone. Bad enough I have it all the time. I don't need some technological device implanted into my damn body. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is wild. And the more we continue to sign up for this stuff as as humanity and as people, the more this wild shit continues to persist, and the more we go into the realm of fusing technology with the biology of our natural bodies. And with this Neuralink shit, what it really reminds me of is, because this is just the start, right? This Neuralink technology is really just the start of what's to come. They already are deep into the artificial intelligence thing. They only gonna go deeper into it. They only gonna make artificial intelligence more sophisticated as time goes on. But it's something that we need to be worried about. It's something we got to be worried about. It's something we should think about. It's something that we should kind of reject when it starts to go past a certain point. Because what I think this is that he's ushering in with this Neuralink, this Elon Musk motherfucker. This motherfucker's something else, man. I think this is like a stepping stone for something deeper and greater to come. I really think the whole purpose of him creating this chip and him launching this Neuralink company, I think the whole purpose is so that he can gather data from human brain waves so that they can create more sophisticated robots, more sophisticated artificial intelligence machines, and things of that nature. That's what I think the whole purpose of it is. And they're acting like it's just to help people who may be paralyzed, or it's just to help people who have uh, you know, mental disorders. That's how they pitching it. Like, oh, this chip is gonna help the world, is gonna help humanity, and people are gonna be able to control their computers with just their mind and control their video games with just their mind. Motherfucker, I ain't tell you I needed that. I ain't tell your ass I needed to be able to control my computer with just my mind. I ain't tell you that. So wait, let me get this straight for a second. You try and make people more lazy than they already are? You trying to make people even more lazy than they already are? Bad enough, we got enough smartphones in the world and people only getting dumber, even with the amount of information we have access to. People getting dumber, people getting lazier, and people are just going along with whatever the fucking government, whatever the elite is ushering in. People are just going along with it without asking questions. Without asking questions. 300 to freedom. 300 to freedom, baby. 300 to motherfucking freedom. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Do you think Neuralink would do more good for society or would it do harm to society? What are some concerns that you have about it? I want to know. I want to know your feelings about that. And if you don't know, I also make hip hop music as well. I don't just drop this content on YouTube. I also make hip hop music. If you want to check out my music, all you got to do is go to any digital streaming platform and search the name Jadis Creek. All you gotta do is search the name Jada's Creek to check out my music. Give me feedback. Let me know what you think about it. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, you know, things have changed at a very fast pace in the past 25 to 30 years. Like things have exponentially increased and become exponentially more sophisticated from a technological standpoint in life. The things we're able to do now. We weren't able to do it just 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But we got to think about the next 20 years and what that might look like, especially with the creation of these kinds of devices that are going to be implanted into people's brains. You know what I'm saying? I did a video in the past talking about how a person is going to have a chip in their hand and they're going to be able to buy things just from using their hand. They're not going to need a physical debit card anymore. So it's like things are going from being outside of the body, objects that we can use that's outside of the body, to objects that are literally a part of our body. And we use our, like, what the fuck? Like, do I look like a motherfucking robot to you? I don't need nothing attached to my brain. God created us as we're supposed to be. God created our brains as our brains are supposed to be. The brain is the most sophisticated, the most complex, the most intelligent, the most mysterious natural creation created by God. And what this Neuralink thing reminds me of, it kind of reminds me of the Garden of Eden, right? Where God told Adam and Eve, look, y'all got everything y'all need. I gave y'all everything. I gave y'all life. Y'all got everything y'all need. Just don't eat from this tree right here. Just don't eat the forbidden fruit from this tree right here. And then what happened? Tell me what happened. You know what happened. You know the story. Eve let a serpent get in her ear and offer her something that she felt she needed when she already had everything she needed already because she was created by God. She didn't need no more, but she thought she was insufficient. So what ended up happening is Eve took the bait from the serpent, and of course Adam, dumbass, like how a lot of men do, follow women and follow what they want based on emotions. Not saying it's always wrong, but a lot of times when a guy is in love and when he loves a woman, he might do some dumb shit just because she said to do it, and he wants to impress her. He wants to be on her good side, and that's what happened. Adam ended up following right behind Eve and taking the forbidden fruit when they were both warned by God not to take the forbidden fruit. This is what this reminds me of. This is what this reminds me of. This is what this reminds me of. And this is a lot of reason why I think that the iPhone has this symbol on the back of it, right? The symbol of the bitten apple, as if it's a forbidden fruit, right? Because all of these elitists, they're creating this technology and we just keep following along with it, going deeper and deeper into the trap instead of unifying and saying no to certain things. Instead of saying, nah, I'm not going to try that thing out. Instead of saying, no, I'm not going to buy that device. Instead of saying, no, I'm not going to buy this new technological piece. no, I'm not gonna get this chip implanted in me. We don't know how to say no. We just keep following suit and following suit and following suit. And next thing you know, it's like we're just lab rats of society, and anything that the government or these elitists pitch to us, we just blindly go along with like some dumbass motherfuckers. So anyway, I'm about to read an article about Neuralink, what it is, why they say it was created, and just to give you information and educate you on what's to come and what to expect in the future, right? So let me read this article. And this article is a pretty good in-depth article about what it is. It gets straight to the point. My fault if the lighting is dark now because I took the it's a little dark on this webcam that I got on. So just bear with me. I'm about to read this article real quick. All right, it's coming up. All right, the article just came up. I just got to give y'all information, right? What you do with the information is up to you, but I make these videos every day to educate. I make these videos every day to put you on the game of what's going on. And I think the best thing we could do as people is unify and come together and work together, uh, because you may feel like these technological advances are making you more free, but really and truly, it's making you less free. It's making you less free because if so. Anyway, let me before I go into that, let me read this article real quick. This article is was done on Built In, right? Built In is the website you can see right here. This is the article I'm reading from, and I'm gonna be reading this article about Neuralink. My full about the lighting, but anyway, the title says, "What is Neuralink? What we know so far." All about the surgically implanted brain chip brought to you by Elon Musk. Neuralink is a neurotechnology company founded by Elon Musk that's building an implantable brain computer interface capable of translating thought into action. Launched in 2016, the private venture claims this neural device will allow people with paraplegia to regain movement and restore vision to those born blind. Neuralink implanted its first device in a patient's brain in January 2024. The patient, who is paralyzed below the shoulders, has used the Neuralink device to play chess and is now using it to learn French and Japanese. I guess that's good. What is Neuralink? Neuralink is a technology company building a device designed to connect human brains directly to computers, said Ramses Alcade, CEO of Neurable, a neurotech company developing non-invasive brain-computer interfaces in the form of headphones. Neuralink's technology is capable of recording and decoding neural signals and then transmitting information back to the brain using electrical stimulation. The implant itself is called the Link. This coin-sized brain chip is surgically embedded under the skull, where it receives information from neural threads that fan out into different sections of a subject's brain in control of motor skills. Each wire contains sensors capable of recording and emitting electrical currents that are so fine that they can't be inserted by the human hand, according to Neuralink's website. That's why Neuralink has built a neurosurgical robot that's designed to become fully automated. So they trying to pitch it like, the device is so small, the things hanging from the device are so small. It's like a hair-like device where it's gonna stick into your brain, but it's no big deal. You just open up your brain and you stick it into your skull. Nothing to worry about. That's how they're pitching it, The company is also developing an app that would allow a person to manipulate a keyboard and mouse using only their mind. Neuralink is really at the vanguard of creating the commercialized, scalable versions of what has been pioneered in academia. There's been decades of academic research to push this field as far as it can go, he said, but ultimately it becomes a very expensive space to develop. How does Neuralink work? Neuralink's underlying technology works in the same way as electrophysiology, Norman explained. The electrical chemical signals in our nervous system spark as neurons communicate with one another across gaps between nerve cells known as synapses. This brain activity is captured by electrodes or sensors that detect voltages, measuring the change in spikes of when these voltages fire or potentially fire. In other words, Our brain activity data is captured not only when we take action, but also if we think about taking action. So this device is going to be capturing and recording brain activity. What do you think the whole point of this shit is? Imagine a chip in your head and there's like a cloud somewhere or some main database where everything that you're thinking is being stored into that main database, right? What if something glitches in the chip, right? And just deletes and wipes out every memory in your damn brain? Or what if something happens with the chip, there's a malfunction with the chip and it like shuts down some motor skills that you already originally had? These are things to think about. Like, the brain is already powerful as it is naturally. That's not to say the brain computer interfacing that Neuralink does is on the same level as mind reading. It simply measures the brain activity and interprets it as an action, said Sonal Babarwal, a Dublin City University-based researcher developing machine learning algorithms built into brain computer interface wearables. Similarly, with your brain signals, eyes closed or opened, a relaxed or deep sleep state, an action or focus state, all of these aspects can be detected. As these devices record complex data sets, machine learning algorithms and other artificial intelligence agents are then employed to make sense of the information. I think that's the real purpose of this. It's not so much about helping humanity, I don't think. I think it's more so about ushering the future of AI. I think it's more so about of replacing your damn job so they won't have to pay your ass no more and they can employ, they're going to use you, they're going to use your ass and use our brains to store data through this device so that they can create smarter and more intelligent artificial intelligent robots to do jobs for free, basically, is what I think. That's one of the big things I think they're trying to do. What will Neuralink do? I just told y'all what it would do, but anyway, we're going to read what the article is saying. According to Neuralink's website, the company's initial goal is to help those immobilized by paralysis regain lost communication skills. Down the line, it intends to pursue restoring motor, sensory, and visual functions as well as treatment of neurological disorders. A Neuralink like device has the potential to enhance human memory, processing speed, and cognitive abilities by creating a direct interface between the human brain and digital devices, Alcade said. Restore mobility. Brain computer interfaces can be used to control prosthetics or exoskeletons. This use case would enable people with paralysis or amputations to regain a certain level of mobility and independence, according to Alcade. Improve communications for nonverbal individuals. So they're saying this is what it would do. Neuralink's main focus is to help people who are unable to speak or write communicate with others by allowing them to control a virtual mouse or keyboard or send messages by thought. For example, someone with paraplegia would be able to manipulate a computer or mobile device using speech or text synthesis to surf the web and create digital art. Treat neurological conditions. By monitoring brain activity, brain computer interfaces can also detect changes that may indicate neurological conditions such as epilepsy, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's disease, Alcade said. Now, all of that sounds good. You know what I'm saying? All of that sounds good. But what's the real agenda behind this? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. What the fuck is the real agenda behind this? They can also be used to monitor mental health symptoms. Electrical stimulation could be delivered to targeted areas in the brain as a treatment for burnout, fatigue, anxiety, and depression, which, unlike motor skills that are localized to one area, are spread throughout the brain, Norman noted. Treating or curing paralysis, neurological disorders, and injuries could make the world a substantially nicer place, so they say, where very few people have untreatable forms of depression or anxiety. Oh, so this chip is going to be the answer to everything, huh? It's going to solve all problems. It's going to solve fatigue. It's going to solve tiredness, depression. Wow. It's going to do all these things, they're saying. Who has spent a decade developing brain computer interfaces and neuroprosthetics for people with neurological injury or disease, giving agency back to those who've lost it. That's an undeniable benefit. Now, I'm all for people living a better quality of life and people who weren't able to move before now being able to move, but what are going to be the long-term effects of this? Like that's the question I have. And like I said, what I believe is for. What I think there's a bigger agenda behind, because you got to look at how things have progressed in technology, right? We went from cell phones to then having smartphones to then having social media, and they already were kind of engineering artificial intelligence even from Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like even with Facebook, the question when you log into your Facebook and it asks you that question, what's on your mind? It asks you before you put a status up, it says, what's on your mind? That's these elite motherfuckers trying to get into your head. They trying to understand the way that you think. They're trying to understand your behavioral patterns. They're trying to understand and get into your mind, not to help you out really. It's because they know where things are going, and they know that eventually they're gonna want to create an artificial intelligent robot or robots, right? That's gonna damn near can replace a human being. And if your ass become to the point where you so replaceable, it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna be like, yo, we ain't hiring you for no jobs because we don't gotta pay you no more. So my question is, what the fuck is the end game gonna be if people can't make no money because these robots are replacing a lot of jobs? And you know this motherfucker Elon Musk, he's gonna be one of the main people ushering uh the limitations of job opportunities for humans, because he done created Tesla. He done created a vehicle that could drive itself. He didn't open up a can of worms with a vehicle that could drive itself. If a vehicle could drive itself and that becomes a common thing, how the fuck is a cab driver gonna make money? How the fuck is a bus driver gonna make money? How the fuck is an Uber driver gonna make money? How is a Lyft driver gonna get money? I guess we haven't thought about that. I guess we haven't thought that far and that deep into it. Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure to share this video with 5 people you know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like I've been saying, YouTube been hating on me because I'll be sharing these videos, telling the truth to society, humanity, and the people. I'm the people's champ. Like, fuck what you heard. I'm the people's champ. So it only makes sense why they would try to limit my viewership and not recommend my videos to people. So I'm really asking for your help to share this video with 5 people you know, people who will be interested in this, people who will find value in this information, because this is something we all got to think about as a society, as humans. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it says it can enhance cognitive abilities. This tech can also help people improve their focus, memory, and attention by allowing them to train their brain using real-time biofeedback and other techniques. In Musk's words, the link is a sort of Fitbit in your skull with all the sensors you'd expect to see in a smartwatch. You could train your brain without having this device, though, but that's another topic. If suddenly you could get every neuron in the human brain and sense them all at once, what would you actually do with that data? We don't know, Norman said. There's 80 billion neurons in the brain with about 1,000 synapses in between them. How do you interpret that kind of data? Neuralink's technology is currently detecting up to 10,000 of these connections, a big step up from the hundreds being studied in academic trials, Norman said. Is Neuralink FDA approved? I ain't even have to ask this question. I already know that FDA approved this because they already approve a lot of other weird shit, right? FDA, just because they approve it, that don't mean I'll take it. That's just me personally. I don't say, oh yeah, the FDA approved it. That means it's safe, and that means that we should follow along and buy this and do this. I'm not that type of person. I don't think like that. Next thing you know, your ass got that chip in your head, and they just on the other side on some device, and they just press delete, and everything that you ever thought of, every memory that you had up to that point in your life is just wiped away from your damn brain. You don't remember who your mama is. You don't remember who your father is. You don't remember who your brother is. You don't remember who your sister is, your auntie, your uncle. Imagine that. Imagine you don't even remember your name. You don't remember where the fuck you at. Right? That's what you gotta think about when you getting certain shit implanted into your mind. Yes, Neuralink announced on May 25th, 2023, that it received the U.S. Food and Drug Administration clearance for an inhuman clinical trial. The company began recruiting for the trial in September of 2023 and continues to provide prime study progress updates on its blog page. They're already recruiting people. They're like, yo, you want to get this chip in your head? Come on, sign up. Sign up. Come get this chip in your head. You want to be a chip ass motherfucker walking around? Sign up. Come. We're going to give you it for free. Because we're going to use your ass as a lab rat to know what we need to improve on so that the next generation of chips can be more efficient. That's how these people work. They're already testing it on monkeys. They're already testing the chips on pigs. You know, they doing all sorts of shit right now. Like, to be real with you. Is Neuralink being used on? They ain't even talking about the amount of monkeys and pigs that died from the chip being in their brain. They're not even talking about that. They're not talking about the animals that passed away from being tested with this chip. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about how the first patient who got this chip in. Anyway, we're going to go back to that. Is Neuralink being used on humans? A human patient, 29-year-old Nolan Arbor, received the first Neuralink implant on January 28, 2024. Excuse me. In a May 2024 blog post, Neuralink reported that in the weeks following the surgery, Arbor had been successfully using the implant to control his laptop while laying down in bed. Although threads retracted from Arbor's brain early on, they have since stabilized. No, they haven't. They lying. What happened is this thing is it's like 8 millimeters deep, right? And it goes through your brain. And it's supposed to detect the brain waves and the neurons in your brain. So what happens is at some point the brain tissue gets damaged because this thing being stuck in there, and also the brain naturally is rejecting this shit. They're not talking about that. The brain is naturally rejecting this chip. So that's what's happening. So instead of it sensing like over 1,000 neurons, it's starting to like basically reject by the brain, and it gets to the point where it's like only detecting like 400 neurons. So now the chip is basically working less and less over time. But they're not talking about that. More recently, a second human patient named Alex also received a Neuralink implant, this time without any threads retracting. He has used Neuralink to play the first-person shooter game Counter-Strike 2, being able to simultaneously control a mouse and keyboard to perform more seamless gameplay. So yeah, that's that article right there, man. Like this shit is crazy. Like my thing with this type of stuff will my thing be with this? Like I said, 300 to freedom. You already know what it is. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. The issue that I have with this type of stuff is if you created this chip and it's so great and it's supposed to be the end all be all for humanity and do all of these great things for the brain, Elon, why your ass ain't chipped up? Why your ass ain't get it surgically implanted into your brain? These are the questions I gotta ask, because me as an artist, I have a product that I'm offering for sale for artists to teach them how to get fans within just 15 minutes. But it's steps that I actually use myself. I'm offering a product to rappers and artists and singers that I actually use myself. I don't understand how these rich elites, they be offering products to the world that they ain't put in their brain yet. How you gonna be there trying to sell something to a motherfucker, but you ain't never tried it out yourself? You don't got that chip in your brain yourself. Why not? Am I the only one thinking this way? Drop a comment below. Am I the only one thinking like that? Like if you got a product and it's so great and it's gonna do XYZ, it's gonna change the world, why your ass ain't get it surgically implanted into your brain? These are the questions I got. Am I not making sense? Drop a comment below. Let me know, y'all. Am I making sense or not making sense? Have your ass walking around like a lab rat, but yet he ain't get no chip in his brain yet. Why you ain't make them cut a hole into your brain? And we about to watch the video right now. I'm about to show you the video right now of how this is surgically done. It only gets better, y'all. It only gets better. All right, let me go to this video right now to show you how it's surgically done. I'm gonna turn off this flashlight real quick, and I'm gonna go to the video. Jadis Creek. You can stream all my music on all streaming platforms. All you gotta do is search the name Jadis Creek. Anyway, let me go to my let me go to this right here. Hold on. Yeah, look.
Neuralink starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra-thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in your brain. This implant is capable of interpreting your thoughts and applying them to real-life actions. Neuralink starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in
Yo,
your.
that shit. If we being honest, that shit sound crazy. That shit sound crazy to me. If we being honest, that shit sound crazy. If we really being honest, if we really being honest, and we being 100 and we keeping it real, that shit sound crazy. That shit sound crazy. That shit sound crazy. They drilling a hole into your brain, a literal hole, and putting some shit that's gonna stick into your brain, and then they gonna sew your ass back up, and you gonna be chipped up. But my thing is, you want people to be able to control video games without them having to need a controller. So that means you and the technology piece, whatever the device is, you become one with that device. Why the fuck I need to become one with any device when I was born with my body, the most sophisticated, the most complex, the best machine, right? The best creation is the human body and the brain. What more I need than that? What more I need than what God gave me when I came into this earth out my mother's womb? What more do I need than that? Or I need some shit planted into my brain to help me to live a better quality of life? Hell no, that shit sound crazy. I mean, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Will you take the Neuralink or will you not take the Neuralink? If motherfuckers is gonna get to the point where society has this chip in their brain, it kind of sounds like the mark of the beast in a sense, right? From the Bible, because this thing is literally a technology piece that becomes a part of you. But nobody asks the question, where is this gonna lead into? Because it's obviously leading somewhere. And that's the issue of it. It's leading somewhere. So if you're gonna be half man, half robot, half man, half technology, that should tell your ass that the only thing that's gonna come next is a super duper smart ass robot that's going to be able to do things far faster, and is going to be able to probably beat your ass. It's probably going to be able to do things that will make it seem godlike to the natural human being, because it's not like us who got to sit there and wait and think, or you know how we get tired, we get fatigued after working too many hours. These robots ain't gonna get fatigued, they ain't gonna get tired, they ain't gonna get exhausted. So if these robots could continuously work 24/7, 365 without pay, without pay, without pay, you telling me that's not gonna be a threat to your job?